Brothers and sisters, generals, family, if we are alive and breathing, we are back to conquer another day, another year, and another decade. And we got to stay with it, got to stay with it in these times, and just stay focused on our core, as I always say, our family, children, significant other, if we have one, and don't get caught up in the swirl of the media, social media, the celebrity gossip, some political gossip, and the personal things in our lives that distract us. We gotta deflect all toxic distractions in this life, person, place, thing. Something I always say, we treat this life like a noun and we break it down, and clarity is our superpower, brothers and sisters. That's why I honor thy ancestors, the righteous brother or sister that fought so very hard to get many of us in the free state of mind that we are in, as my son Lord Lamont and I talked about. Being free is a state of mind all day, every day. So just got to stay with it, and because I always like to say, we as beings, we never know what's coming down the road, but that great divine Mother Nature and that good old universe always know. And how do we connect to profound things in life and keep clarity and keep seeing things? Well, like I just said a few minutes ago, we have to deflect toxic distractions, whether it's small or big. And clarity, when we finally do have that righteous clarity and all pistons are firing, it becomes our superpower. Real talk. And it's time to take back our minds that have been effed with over the years. And it's the whole planet. It's just different levels. It really don't matter what race. All of our minds have been effed with, have been taught to think a certain way and live a certain way and not go explore and things in life, our minds, mind, body, and soul, as I always say, and see more than what's in front of us, go above and beyond, as I like to say. And that's why I like to have things like this on my banner, and over the buildings and in the sky, you'll always see stuff like this on one's banner. And I will be doing videos where I show my face, because I know I haven't showed my face in a while. It's just, I like doing these, audio, because it's like, it's intimate, it's just, I don't know, it develops a passion. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's an intimate thing, if I don't know, it's like I feel, I know it's a connection when you see one's face too, brother or sister. If you see a brother or sister's face speaking, that's wonderful too. So, but I don't know, I just like doing this and showing the representations of what's in one's subconscious, and just flow with me while we on this beautiful water here in this beautiful sunset. As I said in the past, I love sunrises and sun-ups and sundowns. I like sunsets and sunrises, evening, morning, the dawn or the morning. I just love it. I think it's beautiful. So just flow with me here, and let's get lost in our meditative thoughts and our meditative moments we have in our life. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whatever time zone that we are in. If I didn't say that already, I don't think I did. But yeah, and I call this banner "Getting Away from the Shores of Life." In other words, getting away from the celebrity gossip and getting caught up in numbers and views and all that stuff. You just have to skirt and focus on what's really important in life, which is ourselves. We are the core with, like I say, ourselves, children, and family. Those are the three things. That's the core, and significant other, if you have one, like I said. And, like I said, clarity is our superpower, and it's wonderful. And I want to give a salute to the brothers and sisters who are being positive out there, whether you in high status or low status, because, like something I read about Killer Mike and T.I., my son and I were speaking on. We're gonna start having hip hop news, positive information. We're gonna start doing that more, and we'll be speaking on some positive artists or anybody just doing anything positive. We're gonna start putting a spotlight on that, and that's clarity. See, that's what we got to be careful of, brothers and sisters. this stuff in the media, it'll have us getting away or speaking or sometimes gossiping if we don't have facts. But that's why if it's something I don't know, I don't emphasize on it too much. I don't speak on it too much if it's something I really don't have knowledge on. And that's something I've learned on this journey, and some of our wisest teachers, our greatest teachers of all times, even current, some of your most impactful teachers have a sense of humiliation. When we don't know something, that's when you elevate. That's when you grow. Even the most intelligent being in the world, usually, don't think they know everything and have integrity. Because I'll say time and time again, there is no God without integrity, and there is no integrity without God, period. So I don't give a damn who we are, what status we in. If you don't have integrity, how in the heck is we going to connect to that divine spirit deep in our soul? Because it's not an outer thing. It's an inner thing. Because when we develop that power of clarity deep, I'm talking about deep within, nothing will be able to F with us on the outside. But we have to practice, keep studying, researching, reading, locking on to like-minded family members or brothers and sisters. Because it's good to connect with like-minded brothers and sisters, because that way we feed off each other's energy righteously, though, not taking or using, but I mean just combined our powers together and become even stronger. Like I said about T.I. and Killer Mike a minute ago, I'm so proud of T.I. and Killer Mike for doing that, for taking an outlet away from the bull. And as I said about T.I., when I watched that movie, The Trap, and a salute to all those who played in that movie too. I meant to mention that in a podcast my son and I did. Lord Lamont, salute. And I'm proud of my son too, all my children, godchildren, biological children, and one's family, my children's mothers. I'm just proud of those who are still here, and through the mix of mistakes and human errors, but still standing. Again, we're alive and breathing. We are back, man, to change anything. Don't think about yesterday. If it wasn't too tragic, bad, or it didn't cause someone's demise, or if they're murdering, if it's not nothing like that, just a human error. So just a mistake we made, we can change it. But those who are toxic or commit someone's demise and like being toxic, the great divine will deal with you. Trust me. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But clarity is definitely our superpower. And going back to T.I. and Killer Mike having this restaurant called Bankhead Seafood. And seafood's not bad. Pretty healthy food, I think. At least it's not a chicken joint or something like that, Something different. And I think that's good for T.I. And as I said about that Trap movie, salute to Young DC Fly, which my son and I have been speaking on, and Mike Epps and Duvall, the comedian Lil Duvall. He played in that movie. And there was another brother that played in there. He was like the car wash dude or something in there, I think. And I can't remember I don't know what his name is. I have to look it up. But salute to that brother too, because I thought he was funny. Everybody was funny in there. Very well put together movie. And when I saw the scene where, like when it first come on, when T.I. was in that, it looked like a 5-star restaurant. Well, that was in the movie. That was in Los Angeles. And it was wonderful to see T.I. in that setting, because it sets him apart from being an artist. Because it's a lot of artists like that, male or female, brother or sister, that have other gifts and abilities that they know how to do. And I think if they have a passion for something outside of their music, I think they should cling to that. And that's a sense of clarity. So I salute to Killer Mike. And I didn't even know Killer Mike was involved with it. I didn't even know that. And T.I. So salute to those brothers for opening up that restaurant. And they said it got revitalized. It's been in the community for 50 years. And I remember reading that. So salute to them and any other artist that's doing something positive outside the music. Because I'm sick of the fucking beefing. I'm tired of the beefing and rap battles. It's getting fucking old. It really is. People need to find something else to do. It's really getting old. And it's a form of distraction. We need to collab. If you can't get along with each other, if you don't have nothing good to say about someone, leave it the fuck alone. I mean, seriously. And this coming from a place of love, Because, again, clarity is our superpower. So that's what I see in this rap battling. And I even quote something Doggy Diamond said. And you know, Doggy Diamond been on fire. And it's not just him. It's a lot of great content creators that are on fire. The ones that really mean well and gets to the core of an issue, you know, because we got to be the solution and not the fucking problem. So salute to Doggy Diamond, as I told my son, Lord Lamont, and it's other brothers and sisters too. I'm not forgetting y'all. That's great content creators. I'm not talking about the fake ones. I'm talking about the real ones. Got to keep it real. Clarity, baby. Again, that's why I got this on my banner. To stay away. To stay in the waters of clarity and stay away from the shores of bullshit. So that's what this represents on one's banner. You know, it's peaceful, you know, so just flow with me. Ride along with me on this journey of speaking, because that's what speaking is. Speaking is like a journey, especially when it's coming from the gut and it's not script, as I heard a great brother say. You know, and it's many of us that can speak from the cuff, you know, because when you mean well from the soul, you can speak from the soul. Nothing is script. Even though I like to read, reading is good, you know. It helps with our cognitive functions, as I actually recently learned. Reading is a tool that helps us with our memory and stuff like that, especially when we get up in age, real talk. But Doggy Diamond said some very interesting things, and the brother has really been on fire again, as well as other real emphasis on real content creators, brothers or sisters. He really been saying some. I can tell he been feeling it, and he's been really saying some profound things and a lot of good truths. And I really appreciate Doggy Diamond and others who put a righteous impact in hip hop. And what he was saying is, why are we always, you know, doing these stories and these topics on melanated artists, you know, when there are Caucasian artists that have been doing this, and some even worse. And some of the Caucasian, I'm talking about those that are corrupt in high status and over studios and stuff like that. They birthed the toxic shit that's in hip hop. Because remember, before the evil entities of the world got a hold of hip hop, it wasn't as toxic. You know, it was real shit in hip hop, like talking about the ghetto and drugs and stuff like that. But it wasn't toxic like it is now. And we wasn't away from the whole reason why we started doing hip hop in the first place, is which I like to bring up. Bob Marley said, and I did a story on Bob Marley, and I got it written down somewhere in a notepad. I watched the documentary and everything, and I talked about how I cried. I almost wanted to cry at the end of that documentary, because Bob Marley was a wonderful brother, you know, and I hated to see him go, you know. But like I said about Bob Marley, hip hop and any black artist that's doing music righteously, we are like a verbal newspaper. So that's what hip hop was meant for. And of course, as I learned from Professor Griff, salute, hip hop means that we need to reiterate sometimes. And I wish Doggy Diamond would bring this up, you know, and any other, you know, real like-minded brother or sister that really care about hip hop, like my son, Lord Lamont, salute. High infinite power, helping our people. HIPHOP. That's what that stands for. And I say that from time to time to remind myself, so I can keep incorporating right things into one's music that I do, you know, and you know, and not trying to do it for attention or clout or nothing like that. When we do it from a place of love, and it's because it's our passion, it just shows better through the music. It's not about if a whole bunch of people hearing it, or who likes it, who don't like it. No, as I said in the past, we manifest our gifts, or we exercise our gifts first off for God. Then everybody else rides along with us. But we do it for God first, the real God now, the one that don't let us compromise and sell our soul. And that's what I'm talking about. That great divine that keep us focused and, man, doing what we supposed to do and doing what God called so many great brothers and sisters and family to do, because I don't never leave my family out of there. And as you know, as you've heard me speak on podcasts in the past, I always make it a broad picture. I always give this picture of life a broad stroke, and I try to include everything above and beyond. Again, that's why you'll see on my banners, above the building, mountains, in the sky, whether it's a isolated picture or it's a video. Sometimes it'll be a picture of my son and I or something like that, like on the podcast me and him recently did. And I put that in the end screen, and it was what was it? Being free is a state of mind. And my son and I, I'm so glad. And the more that he and I do these podcasts and really speak, the more things come up and the more we connect with our youth, brothers and sisters. And if they're younger or they're young adults, connect with them, and listen to our children, our youth, and respect them, because if we want our youth to respect us, we have to respect them. I told my children that this morning, because I walked my son and my goddaughter to the bus stop, so I'm going to start back, because I still volunteer, which I'll be volunteering Wednesday. And again, look for more music from L'Oreal Lyrical. May she rest in peace and in power. That's my cousin. You always hear me bring her up. I will never let her spirit dissipate. I will keep it alive. And she ain't went nowhere. Her body's not here, but her spirit's still here. And I feel like I just been feeling this sense of power ever since she transitioned. Real talk. It's like she converted it over to me, because she used to always tell me. She used to always get on me. It's like, cuz, man, you can't keep your gifts to yourself. You have to share it. Our gifts are meant to be shared. And that stayed with me. So I thank her and love her for that, as well as my family. Salute, because she came out of one's family. Got some very responsible people in one's family. Again, through the mix of our mistakes and differences and stuff like that. But I thank that great divine that most of my family is here, and my grandparents that transitioned, my dad and others in one's family, that they did what God called them to do. They did what they supposed to do while they were here, So I'm just staying thankful, because it's a good vibration. Remember, positive energy builds a strong immune system, because when we're lost in stress and this celebrity gossip and politics and trying to get numbers and watching people and all that stuff, all you're doing is tearing down your immune system. And it can be a small amount of stress or a big amount. It's little by little. If you don't find ways to not get caught up in the swirling and the distractions of the media and or social media. So salute to Doggy Diamonds, because like he said, we have to look at the overall picture and not just looking at melanated artists. It's way bigger than that. Like they said in the movie New Jack City, and what's his name? Nino said, we all know who played Nino. No, it's bigger than Nino, so to speak. I'm just using that as an example. No, it's bigger than these artists. It goes way bigger than that. It's deeper than that. It even goes all the way back to the Romans, like that movie Gladiator that Denzel was getting ready to play in. Even though we don't like what Denzel said, it was gonna happen. If he didn't say it then, it was gonna come out later. Cause God is not playing right now. The real God, that great divine, Mama Nature, and the universe is not playing right now, and it's lifting up our generals out here, brother, sister, younger or older, or family members, and our great content creators, our real ones now. Emphasis on real. It's raising up the generals, whether they got a platform or not, in the world and online. Again, that real God, that one that's keep us from selling out. You know what I'm saying? That God. That's the God I'm talking about. And there is only one great divine force. I don't care how many names we put on it. There's one positive force, and it's putting a light in a lot of brothers and sisters. And I swear, it's like the later we get in these 20, in these years to come, I can see more and more brothers and sisters waking up and rising up. In other nationalities too, not just melanated. I see other nationalities rising up too. But we have to fight our cause and not try to be in the front of someone else's cause, and just stay with it and do what we supposed to do, and focus on humanity, not so much as on our culture, on just making the whole humanity better. And when brothers and sisters that have spoken truth, an individual, male or female, that's what we'll leave behind. Remember, we're trying to leave this world better than it was when we came in it. That's what God brought us to this clarity for. As I said, clarity is our superpower. And that's what a lot of our righteous, real content creators have, whether you got a platform or not. Like I said, in the world and online. Remember, this is a broad stroke. It's above and beyond thing. So back to what Doggy Diamond said. It's more than just these melanated brothers and sisters we talking about. You know, we so focused on our own. What about the other? You know what I'm saying? And we know who the other is, you know, that's not melanated, that started this whole toxic thing in the first place, you know? And it goes deep and it goes back. Again, it's leading all the way back to the Romans. And if you do your research, you know, I guess I'll say alleged, but if you do your research, a lot of the Romans were some of the most corrupt, and any entity in that time were the most corrupt, vile, disgusting, horrific, toxic. So that's where it stems from. A lot of it, that's where it stems from. They did some of the most horrific things back in those times. And I've done my little research on it, and you know that they've done some horrific things back in them times. And these were individuals that called themselves believing in God. You know what I'm saying? So that's how, you know, toxic, evil individuals from decades ago, and it's crazy, and it's they almost carrying it to now. You know, if you get what I'm saying. You know, it's like it traveled all the way up, that negative evil entity from way back then, from back in the Roman times, has traveled all the way up to now. That's crazy, but it's coming to an end. A lot of evil entities and individuals and high status, it's all coming down, baby. But I mean, of course, we have to give melanated brothers and sisters, yes, they do have to have accountability, and they do have to pay for their evil acts. But remember, folks, it's not just them. It's the enablers around them. And remember, what all that toxic shit manifested from, you know, see where it came from. Get into the core. Clarity, brothers and sisters, you know, get into the core of the situation. Again, and be the solution and not the freaking problem, and not gossipy and seeing something and jumping on bandwagons and, you know, and trying our best to have facts. You know, that's for me too. That's why you hear me say alleged or I don't know. But if I do know something, I will say, yeah, I done my research. I know. But as most of us that are researchers and observers, if we done research on Romans and back in those times, we know what it is. And to be honest, you know, I don't even think this is opinion. I think this is facts. A lot of characters in that Bible, a lot of them were gay. And a lot of those individuals, the individuals they name in there, some of them, you know, the ones that are real names. Because again, you got to sift through that Bible and see what's real and what's not. Because some of them are fictional characters, and some of them are real. And a lot of them were Roman characters back in that time, and a lot of them were sexual deviants and gay, you know. So that's where a lot of that stuff stems from. Again, clarity is our superpower. And I want to give a salute to a nation of people that I just seen recently in the news, if I say it right. Syrian rebels ran their dictator out of town, and we can learn from that. And they took their country back. If I'm saying that right, I think that's a country, you know. Yeah, they took their country back, and they were celebrating, and they ran their dictator out of town. How come we can't do that? Now they have no dictator in their town. That's what's up. And when something like that happens, when you get rid of a dictator, that's when we have to form together. That's why all these distractions out there, because entities around us know a lot of individuals are getting powerful. And we in social, if you use social media for the right things, I'm telling you, you can be on top of everything. You will have clarity on a lot. You know, it's good for our psyche to read, learn things, go deeper on things. It's the best thing we can do for our psyche. Because as I always say, folks, focus on the 7 senses of our body. What I always say, mind, body, and soul, the psyche, seeing, hearing, and feeling. If you can focus on those 7 things, I'm telling you, not too many things on the outside will be able to sway us. Now, some things will sting, some things will try to enter. But if you got that gift of clarity, you'll also develop the anticipation, the art of anticipation. When you can see things, you can almost see the future when you study the art of anticipation, and sometimes silence, you know, and not jumping off what impulses. All right, now we can learn from Syrian rebels. Real talk. And they were so excited. It inspired me. So I salute to them for taking their country back, because that's showing us that it can be done. But we've had melanated brothers and sisters do that too in our history, you know, with of course, you know, we all know the history with Shaka Zulu, but that's another one of those clarity things, as I told my son. Now, Shaka Zulu did some wonderful things, and he paved the way for brothers and sisters. But we got to, as Doggy Diamond said about us always attacking our melanated artists. What about the entities? You know, the real reason why melanated artists are the way they are. You know, they were infected by entities, the other entities around them. That's how they became the way they are. So it's not just them. And I agree with Doggy Diamond. We got to look at the whole bigger picture. We so quick to put one of our own down. Somebody that look like us, melanated, brother and sister. We are so quick to beat up on someone of our own, melanated, you know, brother or sister, beat down on them. But we hardly ever talk about the other, you know, the other entities. You know what I'm saying? And we know who I'm talking about. You know, so again, that's why I like listening to a real brother or sister that's not just going with the flock and just going with the gossip and really seeing what's going on. And that's the beauty of clarity. And that's what the Syrian rebels had. They had clarity. They got tired of the bullshit. You can only beat down on an individual for so long. You know, the old saying, you back a cat into the corner. You back a cat or a mouse or a rat or whatever into a corner. It's just examples. You know what's going to happen. They're going to come out. They're going to get out of it some kind of way. I'll say use a cat. I don't like rat. That's not a good example. So forget that. Discard that. That's a bad example. So we'll say back a cat into the corner, because I don't like rats, because rat sound like something negative. So dismiss that example. So back a cat into the corner. That's, you know, and see what happens. So that's what happened to the Syrian rebels, you know. And it was 50 years of, man, and I was like, wow, those people lived through 50 years of, you know, destruction and torture and, you know, and people being deleted, and man, it's crazy. So I can imagine 50 years. That's crazy. So I salute that nation for fighting for to be free, because as my son and I said, it's a state of mind. They had it in their mind first, and sometimes it takes a long time to concoct a plan against a dictator. But when you lock into that God spirit, God might not be there. It's like God, that great divine. That's why I used to say we got to be on divine time, not man's time and not our time, because we're always wrong when we try to roll on man's time or our own time. Now we got to be on that great divine time, because we never know when that grapevine to come, will act in our lives. But guess what? That force is always on time. But we got to be serious about locking in to that great divine spirit. So again, salute to any country, you know what I'm saying, rebels who override their dictator. So I salute those people, and I learn from them. And melanated brothers and sisters, we can learn from them. Real talk. So it can be done. So what is the fucking problem over in America? Why come we can't get shit together? What the hell what's wrong with us? Seriously. We're always fighting against each other. We're always looking for some drama in the media. You know, we yawn at creation and thrill at destruction. That's a quote from an Eddie Murphy movie called The Holy Man, and I did a podcast on that. I'll put that in the end screen, and I'll put my son and I, father and son discussion about being free is a state of mind. I'll put those two podcasts in the end screen, because I think they're important. Because we do. I mean, but we've been conditioned this way. Like Malcolm X said, everybody in the whole freaking wide world, but especially melanated brothers and sisters, have been under some kind of conditioning. So that's a form of clarity. Knowing the conditioning that we have been under so many freaking years and just passed down from generation to generation. But it's depleting. It's decreasing, you know. The evil entities are falling off. We no longer need them. A lot more people are seeing that too, you know. But there's still some that's still stuck in the gossip and the celebrity gossip, the political gossip and the numbers and the subscribers. As long as we caught up in that, we're not having clarity. We need to see solutions. It's good to get numbers because, again, there's a lot of righteous brothers and sisters that have big numbers. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the clout chasers, ones that, not doing it for a passion and doing it for numbers. Now, you're not having clarity if you're doing that. So let's try to have a solution while we have these platforms and be thankful. The power of thankfulness is wonderful. Be thankful that we have a voice. Don't take it for granted, because it was a time where those got taken out of here. It was a time where melanated brothers and sisters got their life taken just because they knew how to read. Think about that. Marinate on that. Just because they knew how to read. That's crazy. So look how things have changed from now until then. I'm talking about back in before, we was able to read and educate ourselves and all that. Back in them times. Think of that. Decades ago, centuries ago, up until now. So, man, I'm telling you, it's just unfortunate that we lost a lot of brothers along the way. But a lot of them, spirit is still alive, as well as Malcolm X, even Martin Luther King's spirit floating around here, And he meant well in his heart, but we have to be empaths, and put ourselves in their shoes, what they were dealing with in their time. And they still pierce through without social media. That's why I don't, I don't beat up on no one that spoke in the past, and and maybe made a mistake here and there, because look at how they got their voice out without no phone or social media. So, and they had to work harder to get their voice out. So I salute any brother or sister that spoke out in our past, in our near past, and any brother or sister, current righteous brother or sister that's doing what they have to do in these times, whether you got a platform or not, in the world, online, in our families. Man, I'm telling you, clarity is our superpower. Now, I want to go back to Shaka Zulu. Now, we've had melanated brothers and sisters that fought for us, but somehow we keep falling back into this conditioning that Malcolm said that we have been under. We got to know this. And slavery is a mental thing. It's not physical. It's just a new form. And we got to really ask ourselves, is my mind or is our mind under enslavement? Is our mind truly free? We have to ask ourselves that. That's why my son and I came up with that podcast. Being free is a state of mind. Real talk. Because if you free in your mind, body, and soul, man, you tell me what could F with us. Real talk. But we have to practice, read, research, and stay on top of it. So we can stay having clarity. Real talk. So I want to go back to the Shaka Zulu thing. And I told my son that we can't always glorify things all the time. We also got to be ready for the hard truths. And I did a little research on Shaka Zulu. And I was telling my son, Lord Lamont, there's actually some disturbing news about Shaka Zulu, how he treated women. But I'll leave it to those who listen, current subscriber, new subscriber. And thank those for coming in to another edition of EBX Discussion. I always forget to say that at the beginning. But yeah, and if you think about it, back in those times, women didn't have rights. They really didn't, especially melanated women. They didn't have rights, and he didn't treat women very well. But I have to leave those to do their own research. And he actually treated them pretty horrible. And I'm not trying to, taint his image or his legacy or nothing, but that's what that truth, hard truth. That's a pill we have to swallow, So, and it's a lot of our leaders along the way that, had human errors, like Malcolm X. He even said it, he was a criminal and in jail and all that. But, but once he had his eye on the sparrow and he got himself together, he no longer did those things. So I don't know the full range, the full story on that. Again, I say those have to do their own research, but I do like what he did to pave the way. But that part about the woman thing, because I have daughters, and that's God daughters, biological daughters. And having daughters, you learn a lot about females, about the female. When you have daughters, you're more appreciative of them. You understand them a lot better. So it's just like for homeless people. I got a soft spot for homeless people, and I got a soft spot for our sisters, the female, because I have daughters. Real talk. So it really hurt me. It rocked me to the core when I went a little deeper in research and seen what he did, how he treated women. It wasn't good, folks. It really wasn't. But I won't get too far into that. But that's a hard truth, and it goes back to what I said Doggy Diamond said. We got to stop glossing over shit and stop. We always so ready to expose our own, but we hardly ever expose the other. The reason why a lot of our celebrities are the way they are, we got to get to the core and see where it came from. And a lot of us know where it came from, white supremacy, a lot of us act like we scared of that white supremacy. Let's call it for what it is, It gets to a point in our lives where it's time to be done away with the bullshit, like those Syrian rebels. You know what I'm saying? They just got fucking fed up. They got tired of this shit, and they took their fucking country back. And that's what's up. And that inspires me, man. People just get tired of the fucking bullshit. It's a lot of us. It's a lot that think like me, brother or sister. Isn't this a lot of platforms I listen to? And it sends chills through my body. A lot of us feel it, We tired of the bullshit. It's time to form our own, our own spiritual government, so to speak, organize something within ourselves and get rid of these devils. It's time for them to go. It really is. What do we need them for? We don't need them for nothing. We have social media. If we use it in the right way, we can flip-flop this whole industry and take this world back and take our minds back that they had been effing up over the years. It's over. It's done. Great Divine, it's not playing. Mama Nature or that universe. Like KRS-One said. And I played KRS-One. I played a little clip from him every now and then because he said when the real being speaks, all nature and the universe responds. Salute to him for that. And I play that clip every now and then. And it's at the beginning of that podcast that I put in the end screen. And I play that from time to time just to kind of remind myself and the listeners. When the real being speaks, all nature and universe responds. But emphasis when it's official though. Emphasis when the real being speaks. Because only then will nature and the universe respond. So salute to KRS-One for that. I love that saying. And many others that I have learned from along the way. Brother or sister, in the world and online, we got to share that energy with each other, and it's wonderful. So again, salute to those who are maintaining their sanity, because that's the best commodity these days, to have sanity, love, and real clarity, because that's our superpower. So all right, now I want to get to a summary from our leaders and teachers with a student spirit. We ain't no damn followers. Remember, we're changing that damn narrative. All right, now I got to get into a summary. We're going to have a meditative moment, and I want to read the benefits and the power of having clarity. So we're going to get into it. All right, here we go. Meditative moment. Having clarity in our thoughts and goals provides several benefits, including increased focus, better decision making. Emphasis on that better decision. I'm gonna increase focus. Excuse me. Emphasis on that, because that goes back to this media and social media and getting to the core and not just looking at our melanated brothers and sisters. We need to start looking at the other, because we gotta look at the cause of the downfall of our melanated celebs. Get to where it came from. Kill the enemy so we can stop this celebrity shit. We need to kill the core of it, the cause of it, of the what infected our melanated celebs. Real talk. Get to, the ones that's over them, the CEOs, the others. We need to kill them entities off, and then all this shit will stop. All right, I'm gonna start over. Having clarity in our thoughts and goals provides several benefits, including increased focus, better decision making, improved productivity, reduce stress, less stress, no stress at all. Y'all hear me say it a lot. And again, if you want to know how serious stress is, look it up. Enhance communication, the ability to prioritize effectively, greater confidence. That divine confidence is endless. And let me see. Hold on, this phone blinking. All right. Effectively, let me see. The ability to prioritize effectively, greater confidence, that great divine confidence, and a clearer understanding, or overstanding. Remember, I learned that understanding word from Brother Kwaku. Salute. of our direction in life, allowing us to take action towards our goals with purpose and intention, righteous intentions. Emphasis on that, because again, if we have toxic intentions or evil intentions, all this stuff, like our platforms, us trying to leave a legacy, a righteous impact on the world, it'd be all for nothing. I mean, what's the point of building a platform, or or setting out goals in life? And this could be just anybody in the world online, just like in life in general. Why tear our life down with evil acts or evil intentions? It'd just be all for nothing. Then we'd be in a space like your boy Diddy in jail. You know what I'm saying? No matter what happens, his life, and any other artist like that, or any evil politician, he'll never come back from that. His life will never be the same, or his children. And when you really, really think about it to the core of it, it's really sad, and a lot of people don't think about that. It really is a sad state of affairs. It really is. It's terrible, because he don't see how terrible it is right now. He might think he's suffering, but no, later on, when he gets older, any celeb that's corrupt right now and going through it or got allegations, I'm telling you, like I always say, we're going to get old one day, folks. So why would we want to live our latter years or our later years or our golden years being toxic and evil? Because that's when it's worse. Because it's worse because we become, our body deteriorates, and it's brother or sister, male or female. It deteriorates as we get older. So all the corrupt things and the things we did to our body, and we didn't give a fuck about ourselves or others, and then we tore everybody else down on the way up. And you know what they say about being, treating people bad on the way up? You got to see them same people on the way down. And that's that can make a person want to take themselves out, whether they do it or not. They'll contemplate it, and that's not good. If a person is contemplating taking themselves out, what are you doing to make yourself think like that? So I'm just using this celebrity thing as an example of what not to do, because again, we all gonna get old one day, and we think we gonna be on this, all these Instagram models and all that shit, and just living their lives on social media and Instagram and all this shit. What they think they gonna be like that forever? All this shit people doing to their body and all that shit gonna fall off. They're gonna be looking crazy when they get up in age, because you can't override the body. You can't override human nature or mother nature, because we are humans. That's why they call it human nature. We are a part of mother nature. So things we do that's not natural to our body, whether it's an evil act, or we're changing our body, or we're changing genders and all that stuff. I mean, every choice we make has a consequence, good or bad. So I'm just gonna put a period in it. I'm gonna stop right there. So to each is his own, So but if you're righteous and you know what it's about to have clarity, because again, clarity is our superpower. You can be invincible in the mind, body, and soul, and we can teach it to our children by word of mouth or by example. And again, we can see it in our children. And again, when we care about our youth, when they know that we care and they know that we love them, they'll listen, even when they seem like they're not. We'll see it act out in their lives, and that's what we want, So I'm just thankful that, I finally, it took some work. It might took a few years. Again, it can take a lifetime. That, I'm so thankful that great divine, just like it did my son and my family and so many others in this life, brought our minds out of the chaos, or out of the conditioning that evil entities around us have placed us under or placed us in. We just got to know that. And that's where we start. That's where we start with the solutions, knowing that all of us have been under some kind of conditioning, one way or another. And we have to do things to begin to change. Can't keep repeating the same cycle over and over, because as I always say, the devil is a punk. Use the same old tactics over and over. Different faces, different places. And many of us say this. I say this from time to time. Players change, but the game remains the same. That's what the devil does. The devil's a parasite, and it can't work without a host. So that's why a lot of these celebs are infected with toxic shit within. It's because of hosts of the entities are parasites, and a lot of these celebs and politicians, they are the host, so can't work without a host, and now they're becoming parasites. And the public, we as the public, we are the host. And a lot of these toxic ass politicians and celebs, they became the parasites. And again, they're gonna be looking crazy when they get old. I'm telling you, all this shit they doing, like I said a few minutes ago, you got to be careful how we treat people, how we treat people in general, but especially we got some kind of status. Because again, those same people we destroyed on the way up will be those same people that we'll have to see on the way down. And that's worse, because shame and humiliation for a person that's been evil to the core, that's rotten to the core, they're going to feel it the worst. The more evil that a person is, brother or sister, male or female, younger or older, don't matter, the worse that impact is going to be when it come back around. Because it's going to come back around. You know what I like to say? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So that's why we have to have clarity, especially with ourselves, deep in our soul. So, and again, like Doggy Diamond said, we got to get to the core. How these celebs became this way. Who infected them? That's what we got to get to. Get to the core, the devil that keep making these artists, act a certain way, or act the way they do, or did the acts they did. You know what I mean? So that was something that was in my spirit. I was feeling it. Again, we set that tone every morning. We get our mind, body, and soul right. Make sure we get some good meditation in. Like me speaking right now, this is a form of meditation, self-therapy. My son, Lord Lamont, I was proud to hear him say, he said he loved doing our father and son discussions. It's his therapy, and he came over because we usually do them on Fridays. And we did a video. It was an hour-long podcast. I spoke on it before in the last one, but I was so, man, I ain't gonna lie. It was a righteous mad, as I heard a brother say, not a toxic mad, but I was mad we couldn't upload it, So it just inspired me, because when I get, we all feel a little anger about stuff and stuff like that, but I don't let it consume me. I turned it into something positive. And of course, that take practice. We learn this over time. So that's what I did. I didn't get mad about it because I couldn't upload the video. So I didn't get mad. I did kind of get mad, but it wasn't like mad at nobody, but mad at because I couldn't upload it. And so I channeled that energy into, okay. So I made two of them. We did a short one, and I did one by myself. I can't remember what the one I did by myself. Oh, the power of thankfulness. I did that. So, and I'm just thankful to being able to speak. I'm not going to get down and out and get discouraged. That's something we can't do. Never let discouragement sink into our system. Never do that. Stress, none of that. Again, how we think will determine how our body reacts physically. So always stay positive. And we ain't talking about a soft positive either. Just positive to the point where we won't let person, place, or thing take us, righteous brother or sister, younger or older, out of character. So I channeled that anger into something positive, and it just made me more stronger. As many of us great brothers and sisters, we like the Hulk. When entities try to come at us, person, place, or thing, if it's toxic, it just make us stronger. We like the Hulk. We get even more divine power. We get even more stronger, righteously though, nothing bad, because we evil and bad. All these things we're doing to impact the humanity and our culture will be all for nothing. So that's why we got to maintain and have that clarity. As I said, folks, that is our superpower. Salute.